line then, if you don't mind. So let's ask Leslie Scott to come up from the Institute of Rural Entrepreneurship, and you've got a presentation.
Is the PowerPoint on the screen?
Yes, PowerPoint is on the screen.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm delighted to be here. It's an honor to be here with all of you. I want to talk about a program for dislocated workers, which I think are an important subset of what I think the Kauffman Foundation calls necessity entrepreneurs. We have a program called Growing America Through Entrepreneurship that's funded by the U.S. Department of Labor, and they tell us that we're the model program, so I wanted to share that with you. First of all, there's 400,000 unemployed people in North Carolina right now. 1 in 10 dislocated workers expresses an interest in starting a business, and that number's been rising steadily lately, in part because many people have lost jobs been laid off 2 and 3 times. And so maybe now's the time to explore that dream business, especially if there's free help. So that's what GATE is all about, is providing free help at a time when a lot of people don't have many other choices. There isn't much other substitute employment in their communities. So there are now hundreds of people in North Carolina, in rural North Carolina, that are in the process of starting a business through this program. I'll show you the results real quick. In a time when the economy is really bad, but also in a time when in their lives it couldn't probably be any harder, we have 94 dislocated workers who have already started businesses in rural North Carolina. And in addition to them being a lot happier, because they would all tell you that self-employment sure beats unemployment, many of them are not just self-employed, they are hiring other people, and so there's 100 more people besides them that are benefiting from the fact that those businesses now exist and they didn't before. I would love to tell you we got this model right on the first try, but like many entrepreneurial ventures, we actually started with a failure first. We had a program called NOW, the New Opportunities for Workers, and while it exposed a lot of people to entrepreneurial skills, it did not spur many business starts. But from the ashes, the phoenix did rise, and we learned a lot from the failure of that. And so now on USDOL's dime, we've been able to fix what was wrong, and we feel like we have a successful model. So we partner with everybody. The community college system in North Carolina has 58 campuses. They all have a small business center. Those are some of the key partners in this program. In addition to all these other logos that you see, every workforce agency and every business development agency in the state is a partner in this program. And they all love it because it works and because it fills a niche that nobody else was in, which is helping dislocated workers become self-employed or start small businesses, 1 person at a time. Now, the rural entrepreneurs all over the state, who we listen to all the time, for years they've said they weren't aware of available services, they're confused by what's available, and some of them even said, you know, where's the love? They were unappreciated by their rural communities. So when we designed GATE, we decided we would try to include all the critical elements, including love, and maybe you can spot it in this diagram. It's the case management and coaching, and if you're from a social work background, you can appreciate helping somebody navigate all the other services that are available for businesses is really critical. When people have been kicked in the stomach and laid off, they need a little bit of extra guidance about where to go. They don't want to encounter any no wrong doors in the system. So a lot of these particular features you can learn more about. I want to highlight a couple of them. The ESC waiver, Employment Security Commission, is really key because in North Carolina, through this program, if you're developing a business, it qualifies as commission-approved training. So it keeps the dislocated workers out of the kind of going through the motions of the job search process. What they are developing is their new employment, and they will be employing themselves. So that's been a key to kind of keeping people on track. I'm going to give you a few stories about some people from the GATE program that have been successful in North Carolina. Everything is tailored to the individual. Their experience, their resources, the time they have available. Many of them are working part-time while they try to get a business going. Not everybody is a fit for GATE. You have to be in a rural location. You have to have, you know, pretty low startup costs in most cases. So here's a few examples. Nadine had a bachelor's degree and worked in corporate accounting for a textile manufacturer until they laid her off in 2009. Gate paid for her to take some tax school classes, paid for her QuickBooks software, and now she's doing well enough that she's hired 2 employees. JC had a physical disability in his right arm, and had worked in manufacturing until he got laid off. And he had a little bit of landscaping, so he decided to start a lawn care company. And he got some help from vocational rehab as well. And finally, we have this lady who started a leather repair business, and she's working internationally in several countries, and has developed a relationship with Ashley Furniture to train their overseas reps. So those are just a few faces of the rural entrepreneurs that have benefited from this program, which is all about one person at a time, taking them from unemployment to self-employment. And I welcome your ideas and your resources for scaling it up. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Leslie.